Hey everyone, welcome Outruversers. Thanks for joining us again for another DAO Hall. Today we are going to go through a few things. Nico is going to start with a project update. Then Albert's going to give an operational update and also talk about our financing roadmap. Then Jeff will give a marketing and event update. And then I'm going to do a second version of the tokenomics presentation, this time with pictures. Shout out to Christian for creating some slides to make it easier to visualize. So I'll just go through that one more time at the end. And in case you weren't able to catch it on the last haul, we'll leave some time at the end for questions, for all the questions. And so with that, I will kick it over to Nico for the project update.
Hello. Okay, so once again, I'll share my screen and try to show you something new. So I think we went through some of that part last time. We are still in the process to actually test everything on our dev environment. Still with the integration of Leyline Oracle. And I think last time we couldn't have an end-to-end flow complete, but I'll try to show you this time also, although we still have quite some issues, especially in the way that we manage the duplications of different profile and email address when you want to claim your good deeds associated to an email and wallet address, which we call the heal-up flow. But anyway, I will just start by creating a brand new account on Leyline. So assuming that I am a new customer on Leyline, so let me just put something here, just a whole, just create a password. Oh, that should be an email. So just put some kind of disposable email address that we are actually going to restrict on production. Okay, so I should have this email address created in here. Let me just refresh that page. It's got all. So this is I was just showing you like the Leyline the Leyline as an Oracle. So Leyline users onboarding as an Oracle everyone should have an account. And here, as usual, you have your balance and you can do good deeds through Leyline. So my account should show in here now. I'm not going to go through again how you actually validate your good deeds on Leyline, but it's mostly via this do good page where you just pick your activity, you fill up a form, then we receive it on a spreadsheet. We look at the authenticity of that actual submission. So you normally submit a receipt, and then we actually validated your good deed. Once this happens, we go in the backend in here, and we kind of grant you the point. So in here, let's say I've teach something to a student. That's 1 unit. As per the agreed proposal, that's 1,000 points. So you will get on the Leyline ecosystem your 1,000 points, but you also should get it, or it should also be recorded on the ledger, which means the actual blockchain on the proof of good website. So in here, this is just a dev URL, and actually I am connected. It doesn't really matter the connection for now, because that's the public ledger. So you'll be able to access this page called Ledger. Okay, so in here, I just see the points that I've granted and the actual good deed that I've done. So teacher student, that's category education, and I've received 1,000 good points via Leyline. So the address you see in here is just what we call a custodial wallet address, because currently we don't know who you are or who the person is until you actually claim your points. That's the second part, and I'm just gonna, all right, so now I'm disconnected. There will be a page, I'm just accessing those URLs right now, the way they are, because they are not displayed anywhere on the site yet until we're ready, even if it's dev, because the environments are connected together. But now what I want to do, anyway, I could also do it through that one. I'm just gonna use a wallet that I haven't used before. All right, that should be okay. So test account connecting. Actually, I have a notification in here. So this is just the process of authentication, which is purely Web3. And actually recognized in my address from before. Give me 1 sec. Just gonna clear everything here, because I haven't disconnected everything. Okay. 1 second. I just tried to do it. I need to disconnect. I don't know if you guys have similar issues in MetaMask. I don't think it's let me just disconnect proof of good dev. All right. Maybe that wasn't the one. So, as you can see, we're still working on actually getting this whole process smooth and working properly. Okay, so that should be my test account wallet. It's a bit buggy. It was working before, but this usually happens. Okay, so in here, I now can see that I'm actually connected. What was my email address? What I'm going to try and do. I think this was test DAO. 1 second. So now no, that's not the actual one I had 1 second ago. Profile setting. Let me just refresh this one. Okay, so actually there are a number of things that happens when you already connected to the site without clearing all your data. That should be removed, but anyway. So I think I use this one. I'm just gonna update my email address in here. So when you enter your email address with which you've done the good deeds in here, that's going to heal up your account and associate your good deeds to that email address with which you've done the good deeds. Let me just go to I don't know if you guys are familiar with Mail, but it's just a fake disposable email address. So in here, it says that my account is verified. And hopefully now, when I go in the ledger, actually I need to, this has disconnected me. That's one of the issues we've actually noticed. Still connecting. And my computer is getting busy at the same time. Okay, so essentially that's where I should arrive. So let's say I'm just going to put different profile picture in here, save the changes. I hope that this is the proper. Okay, I think actually I have some issues. It hasn't switched to my additional test account, so I'm not sure this is going to work successfully. But essentially, what you should see in here, actually, I've done it before. What you should see in here is that before you authenticate and update your profile settings, whatever is going to show in the ledger is something that is associated to a custodial wallet address. And once you authenticate, update your email address, and you kind of heal up your account, then we recognize that that's the email you've been doing the good deeds with, and we associate them to your account. That's what's happening. Although right now it's not actually perfect on the front end. I should have just reset and disconnected on my account before this meeting, but that's not really a big deal. I get the point. And what I wanted to show you then is that there will be a page that we're still working on. In here, we will display your actual balance of points. It's still work in progress, but that page is just going to show what your own good deeds are. So that was with the previous account, because obviously I didn't manage to connect to my different MetaMask account, but I've just done this test before, and that's the good deeds I have done myself. So that's kind of your personal ledger profile. And yeah, that's pretty much where we are. So we have the public ledger. We'll have the heal up flow through the profile settings, which didn't work perfectly. And then you'll have your own personal profile setting in here with your balance displayed. That's all the things we're testing right now. And we are just trying to make sure that all the use cases and scenario are working like smoothly and successfully, so that we can release that to live. I don't really want to give a deadline again this time, because we're always fading on that. But we still have a few people that are really working hard to try and get all of this working. So that's pretty much. Maybe just one thing very quickly that I can show you. This was more front end. This is the slider that we've been talking about in the past. That's different from what we have in live, where we just explain how proof of good works in a few slides. That's completely separate from the whole writing the ledger and the blockchain. So we could get this out very quickly. Basically, instead of the hero shot that we have right now, we'd replace it with how just a few slides on how the proof of good works. This is just some temporary updates that we could do on the site as soon as possible, until we get the whole homepage redesign and the membership packs out and ready in prod.
Wow, Nico, that's really exciting. Great stuff here. And so right now it's still in alpha testing, right? But you're showing us what it's going to look like once.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Great. And so in order to, just so everybody understands, once it's all ready for beta testing, you need to have a Leyline account, which will be attached to an email, but then you also will be attaching a wallet. Is that right?
Yeah. So the flow, how it works, at least with Leyline right now, is that the way you sign up to Leyline is that it's not mandatory to provide a wallet address. So essentially, you can sign up with just an email address and do good deeds there. So we, by default, on Leyline side, we don't have your wallet address. That's why we do on POG this kind of heal up flow, where for all the email address that we recognize have done some good deeds, then we kind of associate it to the wallet address in which you sign on POG website. The POG website is purely Web3, and you'll be only able to sign up with a digital wallet. And then what we do with this email address, just associate the point to that digital wallet.
Right, but then eventually, with their wallet being attached, that's how users can earn
exactly
points, and good tokens, or good points, and then converting good tokens and all that, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Fantastic, excellent, awesome. That's really great. So we are, we're knocking on the door of having the product ready for release here, which is going to be a game changer. I think, right now, we've been in we've sort of hit the reset button as we try to sort of, right the ship financially and operationally, so that we, once we have this product ready to go, that we'll be able to scale and be able to fund that scaling. And so all these things are working together to get us to the next step. And to talk a little bit more about operational update, as well as our financing roadmap, I'll bring in Albert to
Hey, thanks, Evan. And thanks, Nico, for that update. That is awesome and exciting stuff. So on the operational side, we are beginning to work with OneSky as bringing them on as an Oracle potentially, and with that, using them as a use case to help flesh out what the onboarding process will look like for oracles, so that we can create standard operating procedures and user guides, which would serve as a template for enabling more oracles to come on board in the future. So thinking about how we bring people to the site through organizations and actually execute on our mission of doing as much good in the world as possible and making it provable. This is sort of the start of building out that infrastructure on the integration side with our partners. So with that, if there is anyone out there who wants to volunteer at this time to be an Oracle ambassador and work through the process of the validation and integration with OneSky, and sort of be a day-to-day point person for that project as we go through this process, reach out to myself or Michaela or Paco, and let's get you integrated into the team. So that's pretty much my update on the operations side. Oracle integration being our next focus, and OneSky being our next partner to do that with. On the financing side, the crypto markets are not doing so well right now. I believe they've lost 2/3 of their value since last November. We have a Federal Reserve meeting today, which hopefully the market will take as good news, but who knows? All that said, there's a general perception about crypto given just where the market is, and so we have to be cognizant of that as we look to go out and raise capital for a crypto project. What's going to serve to differentiate us is our mission, our organization, our planning, and a lot of the things that we've been working on, and how we position that to the people who we're talking to, and how we represent ourselves as a legitimate project with a plan, with technology, with people supporting us, is going to help us be successful. But it may be difficult over the next couple of weeks with all of the turmoil in the market. But our plan is to use the crowdfunding platform to go out and try to raise our pre-seed round, along with our membership NFT offering, I guess you call it. That should be coming up soon. I don't have the specifics on the NFT offering. So Devin, I don't know if you want to touch on that a bit, but with those two initiatives over the next couple of weeks, if we're able to successfully raise what we're looking for, then we should be able to comfortably fund our operations and complete production for at least the next year. But again, I don't want to disillusion anyone that it is a tough time in crypto markets. So how we position ourselves and present ourselves and how buttoned up we are is going to make the difference in terms of our potential to be successful. So.
Perfect. Yeah, and I'll just touch on the membership NFTs quickly. And I mean, we're not going to go in depth on this DAO hall, but the next DAO hall, we will go a little bit more in depth on the membership NFTs and talking about the timing. But we're looking at, in the background, we're looking at doing some interesting things with these membership NFTs. One of the things that we are considering is having the membership NFT be your ability to be a community member or a DAO member that can validate and get compensated for validations. So everyone who has a Genesis pack will automatically be qualified to get compensated for validating, and they will be it'll be the highest tier of essentially membership NFTs. The membership NFTs themselves will start at a level, and then you'll be able to use good tokens to level up your POG pack or your membership NFT, and that will, one of the things that will increase the amount of compensation that you'll get from validating. So just, looking at some other projects which are successful right now, and to Albert's point, we need to have a product that is appealing in a market that is difficult to say the least. And so, the idea of having an ability to do good by validating good to earn is another element that we're going to be adding to the membership NFTs to make it an attractive purchase to when we go to sell those. And the other thing that we're considering also is bringing in some sort of human verification protocol, so that some projects have run into issues with bots, either making things too inflationary by just continuing to mint the underlying asset, or people are using sort of multiple accounts in order to increase how much they can earn through a project. So by introducing a human verification component to the membership NFTs, we would solve for that as well. So those are some things that we're considering on the membership NFT side. The next DAO hall, we should have all of that finalized, or it's finalized to be able to kind of walk through that. So with that update, and thanks Al for that, I'll bring in Jeff now to go over the marketing and events update.
Thank you, Devin, and thank you, Al, for the update, and thanks, Nico, again. Project updates and these noon DAO halls are always amongst my favorite. Really quickly on the marketing and events update today, the biggest thing that we'll get to just momentarily is we'll be announcing the winner of the Discord referral contest. So thank you, everybody that participated in that contest or giveaway. As a reminder, that was for those that followed us on Twitter, retweeted the competition or contest rather, as well as followed us on Discord and invited 10 people over to our Discord channel as well. Some quick news before we get to that. Did have a sit down with Albert and Chris and the Let's Rethink This team this week to adjust some of our planning based off the current market conditions, That went very, very well, and there should be some updates at next DAO Hall on the actionables that have come out of that meeting. But really some fantastic ideas kind of spawned out of that, as well as some new contributors to the project in the work that LRT, Let's Rethink This, is going to be doing. So full steam ahead, and really excited to see the work that they're going to be putting out in conjunction with our own. So without further ado, let me share my screen here, and we can get right over to the it's not going to allow me to share my screen. Great. So without further ado, we'll just go ahead right away. And so in the Discord referral giveaway, there were 221 entries for this giveaway. This yielded about a 20% increase on our number of Discord community members, as well as some increase in our Twitter followers. And what we can discern from that information is that we had some new acquisition in our Twitter, but also a lot of engagement from our existing Twitter community, whereas over on Discord, we saw a lot of more acquisition and less on the engagement side. So all very positive things. We will probably be repeating these types of contests based off the level of success that we found here. Again, we're looking to grow community and hit that critical mass, let's say, so that if we can continue to drive 10, 15, or 20% growth with these contests, competitions, giveaways, we'll see exponential growth and eventually, be where we're looking to be, really shooting for that 20,000 strong on Discord, at least, to look a little more senior when we're having these funding and investor meetings and speaking with Oracle projects and partners across the world. So with that being said, I'm just pulling this up here, and I will drop the winner's name over in the comments. The winner is Mary Lou, number 5808. Mary Lou comes from the Philippines. Congratulations, Mary Lou. Mary Lou, you are going to be receiving $250 worth of Matic from Proof of Good DAO. Mary Lou, in addition to following us on Twitter, joining our Discord, retweeting the contest, also brought 11 people over to our Discord as well. Thank you for Elijah. Shout out to Elijah, who helped execute this contest. And so Mary Lou will be in contact with you on Discord, as that was your winning entry, and we'll figure out and get your wallet and get the Matic over to your account. Let's see some other updates for all events. Please head over to the Proof of Good Discord. You'll see in the top of the left-hand navigation this week's event. And again, we highly encourage everybody to also join Leyline's Discord for our happy hours on Friday and unwind the week and discuss what's going on in the market, kind of get rid of some of that fear, uncertainty, and doubt. There's some really great conversations happening there each week, and it's really a nice way to wind down each week. Following happy hour, we'll move back over to the Proof of Good Discord, where we will have the good games occurring again this week. That'll be the good games will be at 2 p.m. Eastern, or that's 11 a.m. Pacific. And this week, the good games will be trivia over on the Good Games channel on Discord. So that, I think, is going to be the short and sweet version, and we'll have some more deliverables and work that has been done, as well as some other contest information on next week's DAO Hall. In the meantime, we can expect another competition or contest related to acquisition or engagement to launch in the meantime. So please stay tuned to our Twitter and our Discord for information regarding that. And I think that'll be it. So again, thanks to Elijah for helping pull that off, the referral contest. And Devin, I think we can kick it back over to you for tokenomics.
Awesome. Thanks, Jeff. congratulations, Mary Lou, and thanks for all of your activity in the contest. And so I'm going to begin and end this tokenomics discussion with a quick disclaimer that this is not financial advice. What we are trying to do is create a token that we can offer value to people who purchase it, while also doing good in the real world. And so I'm going to do another, in case you missed it the last time in spreadsheet form, definitely more boring. I'm going to do a new version of it, talking about tokenomics, assuming that I can share my screen with the wonderful slides that Christian has created for us. Let's see. Okay, I think it's going to let me do it here. All right. Okay. So I'm going to go back and forth here, but I'm going to start off with the breakdown of the allocation of the tokens in total. Now, right now, this is for illustrative purposes. Some of these numbers are will be tweaked as we really drill down on some of the algorithms around the tokenomics, and also some of the percentages may shift here, but it would be more to rewarding team members and sort of away from some of the community airdrops and ecosystem development. But for now, for perception purposes, this is how we're going to be looking at tokenomics. So as Albert mentioned, we're going to be going to market with our pre-seed round. We've been along the way. We've been selling tokens through SAFs, and so we've got some of that already sort of in the door. We're taking a sort of reset here and really creating a product that can expand the potential SAF purchaser base to a sort of larger, more well-rounded community, which would also include entities in the United States. Previously, we had not been selling tokens to U.S. purchasers, but we are going to get our financials audited, establish a U.S. entity, and be able to receive funds from U.S. token purchasers. So a lot of that has been happening in the background. That's why we've things have been a little bit slower on the finance side as we're trying to get all of these things in place so that we can hit the reset and really hit the ground running post funding. The pre-seed round is going to be at 2 cents per token. Right now, we have 1.5 million is our target raise. That may change, but for now, that's what we're thinking. After the seed round, after the pre-seed round, we will do a seed round at 4 cents. And right now, that is currently slotted to be a $3 million raise. We do think that with those raises, as Albert mentioned, we'll have that plus the membership NFT sales. We'll have the funding necessary to build out everything that we need, all the way to our good token launch, which we are still planning for October of this year. In that public sale, which you'll see here. Oh, sorry. In between there, we will be doing a strategic round. In the background, we've been having some discussions, and we've mentioned it, I think, on some previous DAO halls, that we are talking to other projects that have been closely related to the proof of good community, and looking at partnerships where there is an interconnectivity between communities, between token use, between NFT use, and in particular, the Web3 metaverse games for which the good token can be used. After we do our seed round, we will formalize or finalize those partnerships, and then we'll raise a strategic round at 6 cents per token. Once we do that, we'll have enough funding for future partnerships, any kind of all the Oracle scaling. We'll have the ability to scale all of our operations at that point, and then we'll go to market with a public sale of tokens. At right now, we're thinking at 10 cents a token, with a secondary sale at 12.5 cents per token. With all of those sales, plus there's going to be tokens that are reserved. So you'll see here there's 80 million tokens reserved for the treasury to use as fit to try to balance the markets, or to raise future funds for the treasury, or to allocate to various components of the ecosystem that may need it. Other tokens that will be introduced later will be the team component, which will be allocated to everyone that's been working so hard and has been with us for all this time, for day one of proof of good, just trying to help build that. The team will be rewarded for that. Then we have tokens reserved for ecosystem development, for volunteers who are doing good, as well as for airdrops, validations for oracles, and general community rewards. Those do not add any funds to the treasury. Only the tokens that are sold add funds to the treasury. And so with the amount that we're selling here, it is about $32 million dollars worth of treasury funding. And how we're going to be allocating that, I will show a different slide. Here. Okay. So for every token purchase that comes into the treasury, we are going to have an allocation for how those funds are used. 40% of the funding will go to operations. So this is what we'll be using to pay the engineers, to help out with all the tech stuff that we need to buy to manage all of the management of the proof of good ledger and DAO. The 40% will be allocated for those operations. Also, 40% of it will be used to invest in ESG projects directly, or in ESG funds. So ESG stands for environment, social, and governance. So when you are purchasing a token, you are automatically doing good for the world, because we will be investing a portion of that into sustainable energy projects, as well as all kinds of governance, particularly for DAO, potentially other DAOs that have a good component to it, or an environmental component to it, and what have you. We will be investing with a target hurdle rate of 12%, and we are using that investment component of the treasury as a base, as a way to create a base value for the token, so that if the investments that we make are track our 12% hurdle rate or higher, that there will be a base value for the token that's backed by the investment of the treasury. And then in addition to that, 20% of the funding will be going to donations, and that will at the beginning will be our oracles that are nonprofits. They will get they'll get donations from the purchase of tokens. So if you really think about it, a purchase of a token, 60% of it is going to do good through either donations or investments in ESG projects and funds, and 40% of it is used to keep the operations going for proof of good protocol, which is also a good thing, in the long run, right? So basically, every token purchase, you're doing good, and that was the intention of creating this allocation. So if you just take a second here and look at the investment component over here, this is what the investment component of the treasury would look like. So it starts off at 12.8 million, and then you see here over time, after 12 years, it would grow to about 50 million in balance, assuming the 12% return hurdle. So just that component, without any sort of use cases or additional buy-in from the communities or adoption by the world at large, there's still this basic amount of treasury funding that is backing the token. And so I want to go through what that looks like. I'll go back to the first slide. What that means for the treasury. Oh, sorry. Hold on. Oh.
We've just lost Devin.
Okay.
I think Devin had an issue switching between screens. And I know Chris has got a question from the audience also.
I was trying to see what he was referring to specifically when he asked that higher coin value can only increase that gain. I lost the reference to which gain he was referring to.
I think that with regard to the 12% hurdle, I believe. Oh, Devin's back. Hey, Devin.
Hey, sorry about that. I got kicked off somehow.
Well, it's fine. We had a question from Chris on what you were just covering. Also, didn't want to interrupt, but regarding the 12% projected gain or that 12% hurdle, when you were discussing that, Chris had the question that you see below.
Yes. Higher token value increases that gain. No, not necessarily, right? So it's just the investment component of the treasury investment component is what will create a base value for the token. The token itself should have a value above and beyond that because of the use case, because of scarcity, because of the growing adoption of the token. So that won't actually impact the investment side of it. That will be sort of by itself in the treasury and continuing to grow. There are other things that we'll be doing, including liquidity pools and staking, that will also help for the value of the token. That is the part that isn't that hasn't been finalized yet, and why some of these will still be tweaked. Okay, so Chris is saying he was right the whole time, which of course he wasn't. So let me just go back and show you what I was trying to show before I got kicked off, which is how this.
Don't be a panic attack.
Okay. All right. So am I sharing the right screen here to say financials? Yeah. Oh, wait. Is it not? There we go. Everybody see that? Nod your head, Jeff, out. Okay, good. All right. So, what I was saying before about the tokens is that there's a certain amount that will be outstanding day one. Once we have our token generation event, it'll be all of the tokens that are sold. That amount is a little over 600 million tokens out of the 1.5 billion that are going to be created. And over time, those tokens will be spent in the economy. So whether that's in upgrading your Pog Pack, whether that's using them in partners' games or what have you, or whether purchasing other elements through the ecosystem, there's going to be a spend or a burn of those tokens. Those tokens will come back to the treasury and no longer be in circulation. So what you see here is if you make the assumption that there's going to be 10% of the outstanding tokens will be spent every year, then you'll see this decrease in the number of tokens that are outstanding year after year, right?
So just real quick, so spent tokens in the ecosystem are going to be permanently burned?
No, not permanently burnt. They'll just be out of circulation in the treasury.
Okay.
Now, a way to down the line, increase the value of the treasury would be to reintroduce those tokens, and that will be something that will be managed through an algorithm that we develop along the way. And as we're sort of seeing how the token is trading, and if we need to create some market equilibrium, we can introduce tokens when necessary. So that's how that would be handled. And then so you had this dwindling amount of original tokens outstanding, but at the same time, there are going to be people who are able to earn tokens through doing good deeds, through the allocations, to the team, allocations to volunteers as they're doing, as they're doing good in the real world, to compensate validators if you are an Oracle, or down the line if you own a membership NFT or Genesis NFT, you will be introducing tokens because you'll be earning them, right? And so those tokens that get introduced, if we created just a simple algorithm that made sure that we didn't run out of tokens over time, if we said that we were going to release 10% of the outstanding or the non-outstanding tokens every year, you will see an introduction of tokens curve that looks like this, where you start off with 80 million tokens being introduced in year one and then dwindling down over time. This number here represents about 550 million tokens of the 800 million that are outstanding over 12 years. And so what if you just take a simplistic look at what that means for the token market fair value, what this curve here is showing is if you just use the investment component of the treasury, as that is steadily increasing with the returns, and you take into account that there are tokens that are being spent at a certain rate, and then tokens that are being earned at a certain rate, and you just divide that outstanding amount of tokens by the value of the treasury, you get this token market fair value here, which starts off at a little over 2 cents. So anybody who comes in at the pre-seed level of 2 cents, we've already sort of built in a potential return as long as we are able to follow the roadmap as we've laid it out here. And for display purposes, you see that if the treasury increases, tokens are spent and earned in this rate. This would create a token value going from 2 cents to a sort of a base value of 25 cents. So we like to think of this as a project that, while other projects or a lot of projects that are out right now, have a, maybe 100x potential return on the upside, but then have a complete zero on the downside. We're hoping that we're able to create value such that, our upside is similar to all these other projects that are in the marketplace, but that our downside isn't a true zero because we'll be creating this, or hopefully be creating this base value through the investment component of the treasury. Now, hopefully it's not just the investment value of the treasury that that is creating any kind of value. Hopefully there are lots of purchases and that there are people out there doing good and upgrading their NFTs and spending them in the ecosystem with our partners. That will all add additional value and scarcity to the market to create the longevity and scalability of the proof of good protocol and the good token. So with that, I'm going to stop sharing. And I wasn't able to see the questions because I had the slides up on my screen. So we have 4 minutes here. I know we want to do the POAP drop. I don't know if we want to do the POAP drop quickly and then, or I'll do the questions first. What do you think, Jeff?
Sorry, unmute. Yeah, I think we can get to the questions quickly, and then we can wrap up with a POAP. I think we're just about wrapped up with questions right now. We do have some more from Chris. This was a bit timely, but
okay. So most investors, yeah. So what we do, what we invest in on the treasury side can be anything within the ESG space, and wouldn't necessarily be token holders, but potentially they could be once they're introduced to the project, through our connections and our network or what have you. All of the purchasers of tokens along the way throughout the process, they will all be token holders, obviously, because they would be purchasing tokens. And I'm just looking here. Okay, I'm not sure. I don't see any more questions. I don't know, Jeff, did I miss any?
No, I think that is it. A few volunteers or prospective volunteers in today's DAO Hall, which is great. Very excited about that. And Chris has provided a contact, and we've provided the volunteer form for them to kind of express where they'd like to be volunteered.
So great. So yeah. So I mean, what we're trying to do with the tokenomics and what we're going to be doing with the membership NFTs is all about rewarding all of our early adopters, people who have been, with us through the ups and downs, and all these projects have ups and downs, right? We're no different from that. But what we intend to do is, reward our early adopters, allow you to earn through validating. And so definitely hold on to your packs. If you still want to see where all of these things are going to be going with validation and earning, and then there'll be obviously additional perks down the line as we continue to grow the community. So and volunteering is is always welcome, and is sort of the first step to sort of jumping into the community and seeing what we're about. As Nico went through the product, we're getting very close to being able to, write the deeds to the ledger, keep track of all the good that you're doing, and the people who are on the front end, earning good points, will be able to allocate some more tokens to people in the that are here from the beginning. So thanks to everyone who's been with us. And thanks to anyone who is, joining us for the first time. Spread the word, and let people know that we're getting close to to launching our tokens and the membership NFTs, and you want to be in on the early side. So again, I will reiterate the disclaimer that the tokenomics membership NFT talks are not financial advice. It's just we are offering tokens and membership NFTs for purchase, and we're trying to create value through the way that we are utilizing our treasury, and the way that we're building our tokenomics, and how we are rewarding membership NFTs and Genesis POG packs.
And we're creating value through the acts of good that people are doing in real life. This presentation does contain forward-looking statements, so we cannot predict where the market will go, and I'll leave it at that.
Thank you, Albert. So, POAP time.
POAP time. Okay, I'll drop the link over here in YouTube, and for those that are eligible, here is the POAP link for you to claim your POAP for attending today's DAO Hall. If you yourself are not already on the approved list, the good list, then you can email poap@leyline.gg. Drop that on the screen here also.
Perfect, thank you.
And we'll make sure that for next DAO Hall or for future POAP generating events that you're on that good list, so that you yourself can claim as well. I think that we're 1 minute over. I don't see any other questions from the audience. So unless you want to close this out, maybe, Devin.
Yeah, I've got one housekeeping announcement. We are going to be doing our next DAO Hall in 2 weeks. We're essentially, consider this going down for maintenance. We have a lot of work to do on the back end. As we get our funding lined up, we need to do a lot of things to make sure that we can get that in place. That's really the launching point for everything that we're going to be doing going forward. So we need to buckle down on our side and make sure that we can get everything prepared so that we can get this done in a timely manner because we're getting close on all these projects and we really need to restock our treasury so that we can move forward in a financially healthy way. So be on the lookout for the new DAO Hall schedule. We may continue to do them every 2 weeks, but once we have the funding, we'll start to be moving very quickly. So then we'll come back to the weekly format. So with that, thanks everyone for joining.